then they're not ready. We're going to get canceled pretty quick. Hey everybody, welcome to the Millennial Mind podcast. This podcast is going to be discussing everything in today's culture, business, marketing, and daily news. And today, here's my co-host, Ron Edwards. He is with Bigfeet Creations. My name is TJ. I'm your host with Semperfi Media. That's our sponsors for today. So, Ron, tell me exactly who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm the token non-millennial. And I do graphic design and print brokering. Been doing that for 35 years. It's hard to believe I'm that old.
You're not old.
Well, anyway, it's a lot of fun. I'm never going to retire from doing it. I'm just going to forget what I do for a living. So.
Yeah, that's true. So we have a couple of subjects that we wanted to get started with today. And the first subject that I want to talk about is, did you hear about that streamer with the anti-LGBTQ protests? And it's been a while. I know we're a little late on this subject, but we're getting everything going on the podcast. But it's still big in news because I game a lot, right? And I have seen the Call of Duty community come together with this dude named Nickmercs. I've followed him, since his Fortnite days of Twin Towers, 2016, 17. I mean, yeah, he's been a pretty good famous streamer for a long time. And it's just kind of sucks that, you know, he now has a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have a kid,
Changes everything.
It changes your mindset and the way you think. One way, you have the kid, and now your mind is completely thinking another way.
Yeah. Well, and I had never even heard of him until you told me a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And I went and read up on it. It's just another one of those bizarro. Are we in the same dimension that we woke up in a few years ago? It feels like a completely different dimension where everything is topsy-turvy, and the things that used to be right are wrong, and all the things that used to be wrong are heroic somehow.
I mean, yeah, I was really like blown away with what happened. I thought it was a joke. Like I had saw on my gaming channel on Metallics on Twitter, I had followed this Call of Duty account that they had put on there that due to Nickmerc's recent events or something like that, yeah, we removed Nickmerc's bundle. And I swear I thought it was a joke. I was like, man, someone doctored this tweet really, really good. And I did a couple of digging, and coming to find out it was true. And I'm like, man, they're really canceling this kid for, he didn't even say nothing wrong though. He said, we have it right here, they should leave little children alone. That's the real issue. And I don't see what the big deal was with that.
Looking at the protests, the anti-LGBT crowd and the pro-LGBT crowd, I guess there's a lot more letters now. I don't know all the letters and whatever, but anyway, they were clashing, and he was looking at that, and it's in front of a school, and he's saying they need to leave the kids alone.
Yeah.
Wow, that's it.
That's all he said.
You know, and it's not enough. It's not enough to come out and say something that they're offended by. If you don't come out and say something in support of them, remember what happened to Chris Pratt a couple of years, the Guardians of the Galaxy actor.
Yeah.
He didn't come out and say something in support, and everybody tried to cancel him. Mm-hmm. Thank goodness Robert Downey Jr. came to his
I remember
support,
that.
And some of the other actors. But that's because he didn't say something in support of the LGBT crowd, you know. And this is pretty innocent. And
and it's almost the same thing. Like, so whenever I had seen this, you know, I was like, man, I don't know what's going to happen with this. Usually, stuff like this you find in the gaming community, they make it seem like that there's that we don't get each other's backs on stuff like this. And what I mean by that is you have this 0.01% of this community or less that are loud, obnoxious, and they think like they run the majority, and it looks like social media, it looks like they run the majority, but they really don't. And
and they're so loud that they look like a majority. They look like,
yeah.
So everybody who has traditional values and traditional ways of looking at things look like the minority, because we're sitting back quiet and not making a lot of, we're not burning cities or going up on
that's peaceful. That was peaceful protesting.
Yeah. Peaceful. Yeah. It's peaceful if you're burning
peaceful protesting.
Yeah. But we're not doing that. And so we're not seen by the news media or we're not seen by the politicians. And, that's what happens.
Yeah. So up to speed after about 2.5, I think it was 2 weeks now that this story has gone on. So he actually came back to stream on Monday. And man, let me tell you something. So before I get on that though, Dr. Disrespect, he actually is another millennial, 2-time champ. What's up, Doc? I follow you too, buddy. And he came to Nickmercs' aid as well.
Yeah.
On live stream, he goes, you know what we have to do? And he uninstall Call of Duty. And when you have that big of a following and that type of character to stand up to those bullies, now Tim the Tap Man, they're all really good friends.
He said he didn't want his stuff.
Correct. He tweeted, he was like, you know what, Nickmercs, that's my boy. We both went in to get the same thing together, and doesn't feel right.
And that Call of Duty is joining the ranks of Target and
they're feeling it. They're feeling it. Boy, they feeling it. I mean, it's like
go woke, get broke.
Get woke, go broke.
Get woke, broke. Yeah.
Get woke, go broke. So there was this little news article that is so funny. So the new season for Call of Duty just came out, right? Season 4. And it was one day, right? Of course, there's going to be a lot of purchases of the new DLC pack or whatever, right? So these news outlets, they make it seem like everyone's buying this thing, right? And like, it's barely not even half a day this season has been out. And it was like number 3 on Steam. Mm-hmm. Usually it's number 1. That's the thing, is number 3. And now, a week later, I mean, I think it sits, last time I looked at it, I think it sits like at 30 or 35 or 20. I mean, yeah, you're talking going from number 3 on day 1, day 1, dropping the ranks in 1 week to number 30. I mean, that's unheard of. That is the get woke, go broke, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Activision's not going to just hurt on that, though. They're going to hurt on other games, too.
Everything. Yeah, it's going around. And it was so funny because Call of Duty couldn't even tweet, man. They were getting ratioed so bad. And what I mean by ratio is on Twitter, you can't dislike on Twitter, right?
Right.
So when they say you got ratioed, meaning you have more comments than likes, meaning the comment section is pretty bad. If you go on like all their tweets in the past week, every single tweet ratio, man, they're like sitting there, leave the children alone. And now, fast forward to this past Monday, Nickmercs got 11,000 subscriptions.
That's a lot of money.
On one stream.
That's a lot of money.
Mind you, I think like the tier 1 subscription is $4.99, and I think his tier 3 subscription is like $9.99. So I don't even know what tiers were bought, but 11,000. So let's just sit there and let that sink in there for a minute, Call of Duty. You think you won and you're about to feel it. You're about to join the ranks of Target. You're about to join the ranks of Bud Light, because it's just getting ridiculous. Like, no one cares like that you're gay. We really don't care. Like, I don't care. I ain't got no...
If you want to
Be gay. Like, I don't care. I really don't. But it's the fact of, like, when it starts getting shoved down your throat, this and that, and then whenever you can't even say, leave kids alone, and then the LGBT comes back and tries to cancel you, then you really wonder, like, well, what is your agenda? If there was no problem, right? If there was no problem, the LGBT is like, oh, there's no problem. If there was no problem, why are you trying to cancel them for saying leave kids alone?
Well, and I haven't had this happen to me, but I know a lot of people have been harassed over not using the proper pronouns, and
I've seen that. Haven't experienced it yet.
haven't experienced it yet. But
Well, we live in Texas, so
why are we not allowed to identify as traditional and say we don't recognize pronouns and you're harassing me?
yeah,
Why aren't we not allowed to do that?
it is. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. And so, like,
Yeah, I was watching, not the greatest show, but I was watching Superman and Lois.
haven't seen that one yet.
It's on. I think it's. Well, it's on the same CW, whatever. It's part of the Flash or the Green Arrow universe, whatever. Not my favorite Superman actor, not my favorite Lois actress, but Superman flew through a wormhole into the alternate universe, the Bizarro universe, and the world is a cube, and everybody talks backwards, and all the words are in reverse, and all that. I kind of feel like that's where we ended up, where,
The wormhole.
I'm
Switching dimensions.
I'm traditional, so I'm phobic of some sort, and I'm racist and just all the things that they say. I'm intolerant because I grew up traditionally and I have traditional values. And it's kind of the things that used to be good are now bad. And so if you don't come out and support this and that and the other thing, then you need to be canceled and you need to be put in your place,
Yeah.
So, the things that I grew up, patriotism is racist somehow because the Star Spangled Banner is racist and Dr. Seuss is racist and everything that we grew up. I grew up in an Air Force family. And so I went to school on the military bases, and they taught us patriotism. They taught us the value of what we have in this country and what the country means. And now I'm being told all that is bad. And we need to bring in what's the word? Yeah, we need to be socialist,
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I kind of wanted to make this podcast, because there is a lot of what people think is millennials, and they're not. And I'm specifically talking to you, Gen Z, and this is why I made this podcast, because I'm sick and tired of being blamed as a millennial for all this stuff that happens. We grew up Beavis and Butthead. Teenagers, and even before teenagers, Beavis and Butthead, South Park, all this stuff, Family, like all this raunchy crap, right? And all of a sudden, somewhere in the 2010 to 2013s, these, young Gen Z, that these are the ones that get in their feelings hurt, the 26-year-olds, the 27, 28, 29-year-olds, they're claiming we're millennials. No, you're not. And I can tell you this right now. So I ran into, actually, on set whenever we were filming, I can't say the name of the film at all, but when we were filming a Netflix series this past week that I was on set and I was helping film, I actually ran into a 26-year-old Gen Z. And he told me, and I told him about my podcast that I'm making, and he specifically said, "Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, I'm like the youngest millennial." And I looked at him and I said, "How old are you, bro?" And he's like, "I'm 26. And I said, "This is the problem that I'm at." He's a cool dude, real cool dude. He's, it was a Christian show, real nice guy. So we kind of just had I didn't powwow him, right? I didn't Marine.
Netflix has Christian shows? Wow.
Well, okay, so this show that we're doing, it's it's gonna get pitched around, right? It's just kind
I
of
was just kind of joking.
yeah.
Netflix is kind of
Yeah. So, but he was very understanding. He was like, he told me, he goes, I remember reading something when I was a little bit younger, like 20, that they put me into this category of millennial. He goes, I always thought I was Gen Z. And I said, you are Gen Z. I said, the last millennial, true millennial it was there for years, was 1980 to 91. 80 to 91. That was set in stone for I can't tell you how many years. And then the Obama era comes around, and you have these teenagers that are in the Obama era, which is Gen Z. All you guys are teenagers from 2009 to 2014, 16. You guys are Gen Z. You're not millennials, okay? You're Gen Z. And so he told me, he was like, I remember them changing it. And I said, yeah, they changed it. I said, and these are the kids that are claiming to be millennials, and that they're crying at, these are the crybabies about everything. And look at it, it's everywhere on Twitter. 27-year-olds crying this, crying that, all the blue hair. And why do they all look the same? We'll get on that later on, but
well, remember
they all like look the same, man. The black glasses and the blue hair, like I see them, I'm like, why do y'all all look the same?
Remember the one Gen Z girl that is a influencer and got famous for taking a bath in milk and Fruit Loops or something, and eating the Fruit Loops, and because of that she got to interview.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
that's that's a Gen Z thing, and that's
Tide Pods. They eat Tide Pods.
Not so.
Yeah, I mean, you had these at the time, like when TikTok first came out or whatever. They're over there eating Tide Pods, like the 21-year-old kids eating Tide Pods, 18,
and then spoonfuls of cinnamon, which can kill you.
Yeah,
choking on it.
Yeah,
it out there.
Yeah, I know. So, anyways, back to the story of this kid. So me and him, we talked, and he was very understanding. He goes, I always knew I was Gen Z, but I just don't get along with Gen Z. I get along with millennials, so that's why I kind of put myself in that. I said, that's cool. I said, you're a cool dude. I like you. We were talking, and he was very understanding, and he was like, yeah, this, that. Good dude, but that's what us millennials, which are, 35, 36, 37, that were teenagers during the actual millennium, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, when I was 14, 15, and 2000, that's the real millennial generation, right?
That was back before men could have babies, and
oh, that was way before that.
Yeah, way before that.
Yeah, way before. And that's what I'm telling you, man. These Gen Zs are trying to hijack, my culture, and it's just not happening. And that's the main reason why I made this, is because I'm sick of it. I'm tired of getting, put in that category. For these, like, oh, you're a millennial, oh, you cry. I'm like, dude, I tell you what, I'm like the most, you can not even hurt my feelings with stuff you're going to say. You want to know why? It's like my drill instructors had said stuff to me that I can guarantee you, man, would make you cry. It's like, we don't get offended by that. And then all my friends that I hang out with, man, we raunchy jokes. I mean, you have
But Gen Z is looking for things to be offended by.
If
there's nothing obvious, then they pick things apart. Like I was saying, Chris Pratt not verbally supporting the LGBT crowd. Yeah, that's offensive because he didn't say something positive.
Yeah,
looking for anything. Somebody was saying Jar Jar Binks was racist, and what? He's not even real.
Yeah, and he was played by a black guy.
That's racist, yeah. And
so
that's going way back.
Yeah, it's go way back. But that's why I liked this. I like this podcast because you're Gen X, right? You're Gen X, or you baby boomer?
I don't know. I'm
what year?
60.
60.
I was born in 62. That's like.
Oh, you're Gen X. Okay, Gen X. Yeah. Okay, so you're Gen X. Right. Yeah, and then right before you guys, your parents are the baby boomers.
Okay.
Right, like 1950s,
something like
40s. Right. Yeah. So, but I wanted to make this because my generation is supposedly always attacking your generation, and it's not true.
No.
It's not true. And I'm going to reiterate that. It is the Gen Z that has hijacked the lower part of the millennials that were 91, 92, that are the last. And now you have these Gen Zs that were born in 94, 95, 96, and supposedly 97 now. I think it changed again because they want, they're, again, to reiterate what you just said, they find anything to freaking cry about all the time.
And now they're telling us, the science has changed. The science has changed. Well, tell me something. We got science that goes back thousands of years and hundreds of years. Now we have all these scientists that have to go and study everything because the science is different now, So we have to throw out all the science, and you and I have to go back to school and take all the science classes over again. Once the scientists
I ain't going back to school. I ain't going back.
The science has changed. But it's really crazy, stupid things like that. So, when back in the '60s they were telling us that we were going to have global cooling, right?
Yeah, I remember that. Well, I don't remember that, but I remember hearing about it. Yeah.
And then in the 70s, global cooling wasn't right. It's the hole in the ozone. No. There was the greenhouse effect. That's what it was. A greenhouse effect.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the gases, and we're going to trap everything inside, and we're all going to suffocate, whatever. And then you go the hole in the ozone, and then you go global warming, and then you go climate change. This is why I don't believe any of that stuff, because they've been telling me something different. Every 10 years they change it. So,
and that's facts.
I'm supposed to believe it.
That's facts.
Science is changing.
Yeah.
If the science is changing, I don't have to worry about what the current science is.
That's a good. That's a good point, man. That's good knowledge right there. Yeah, it's just going to change again.
Well, and then they say something stupid like 97% of all scientists agree. Well, all right. What percentage of all scientists are actually climatologists? So what percentage of scientists can actually give an authoritative view on that? I would imagine it's less than that 3%. I imagine less than 3% of scientists are probably climatologists. So I have as much authority as any of the 97% that's saying this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got on climate change.
Oh, I don't know. Well, that's what when you just start talking.
Stream of consciousness.
Yeah, stream of consciousness, man. Yeah, but like I said, I'm worried more about this Gen Z, hijacking my generation and attacking y'all's generation specifically. When that's just you're intolerant, and that's not true. I mean, I got plenty of true millennial friends that are 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. I mean, hell, my wife, she's 31. I'm 38. And her birthday, 91, is the last millennial, and that was there for years. And then, of course, you have Gen Z, coming around. Oh, we're young millennials, and then they want to change it. And now it changed again. Now it's 97. Like, come on, dude. No, you can't have a generation of over 27 years for a generation. Like, no.
Well, and if I tell you what, if my generation wasn't a tolerant generation, I couldn't be friends with you.
Yeah,
but we're
very true.
Great friends.
We're great friends.
It doesn't matter what the age difference is.
No. Well, that's because, I actually have a brain. I actually think I, don't judge people by how they look, their color, nothing like that. I got plenty of black brothers. I got plenty of brown brothers, Asian brothers.
You managed to escape or get around. You managed to avoid the indoctrination in school where they were telling you that, you're racist because you're not black, or you're since you're not all the way white, you're being discriminated against or whatever. You managed to kind of get around all that, so you're still open-minded.
Well, speaking of that, that's another reason why I actually, really didn't. I didn't really have a problem with college. What I had a problem was it was too slow for me. Mm-hmm. Right. I went to 3 animation, game art, game design. Long story short, they were like, oh, just do this, render it. Well, after we get it done, I want to see it move.
Yeah.
So I started making the skeleton. Then I put it together with, the 3D animation. Then I animated it, and et cetera, et cetera. And then my professor, I actually got written up because for going ahead. And it did that for my first 2 years of college, and that was my math did it, because I'm a whiz at math. My math teacher did it. She says, well, you can't do this for your, I think it was like, I think it was calculus and algebra 2 is the one that I had. And she was telling me, like, I couldn't go past this in the textbooks. I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. And when I realized this, I'm like, man, you know what? This isn't for me. Like, they dumb you down, and I can say this, like, it's completely different. And you see now a lot of millennials don't even go to college, right? You see the Gen Z, they mostly went to college, and look at them now.
Yeah.
50 grand, 100 grand in debt, living with their moms in their basement, and then they want to sit there and cry and all this stuff, and then they want to hijack my generation. Oh, we're this, we're that. Nah.
Did you see the video of the one guy, the one Gen Zer that worked at Starbucks, and he was sitting there in tears because they were going to make him work full shifts? Did you see this?
Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way.
They're making me work more than 4 hours a day. This is just so unfair.
Fuck, man. Get your ass on, boy. Get your goddamn ugly ass.
Oh my God, no. Oh my God. Is it on TikTok?
It was on YouTube.
It was on YouTube. It's on the shorts. I'm gonna find that. I'm gonna find that whenever I get out of here, man.
Then there was another one you have to look up too, where this girl was in front of her boss, and he was telling her she misspelled something. She was flipping out because he was telling her that it was misspelled. Well, this is the way I've always spelled it, so this is the way I'm going to spell it. She ended up calling her mom and putting her mom on speakerphone to yell at the boss for telling her daughter that she had spelled it wrong.
That deserves this one.
You got to look up.
Stupid.
Oh my.
Oh man, we live in an insane world,
and that's why I'm trying to, get this podcast out there, guys. If you guys can, we greatly appreciate it. Like and subscribe, and share the video and stuff like that, because we're gonna be doing these podcasts all. I don't know. I want to probably do one
at least 2 or 3 times.
At least 2 or 3 times a week, etc. I mean, I'm probably gonna do some solo videos about some stuff going on in the news and everything like that. And so off of the Nickmercs thing,
I'll be here as often as that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you live right down the road, so just whenever you have time, you can always come. And yeah, Gen X and millennial podcasts. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. So you had a subject you wanted to talk about. So now that we get off of Nickmercs,
get on something more fun, right?
For sure. So Nick, hey man, just let you know, bro, we are behind you 110%, man. Do not. And look at that. I even got you a new fan, man, right here, Gen X fan. Do not bend the knee to these cancel culture pieces of crap, man. Don't do it. Everyone in the gaming community that went to Nickmercs and that supported him, me including, I was on the stream as well watching you, Nick. Stay together, stick together, guys, because this is the only way that we're going to win this culture battle war in these times. Everyone is sick of it. You had your push. It's done. It's done. You got what you wanted. Now leave it alone and stop throwing it in our faces. And now we're moving on.
People that think like us are the majority. So don't let the minority, the 5% or 10% of whatever. Or
not even that. I'd say 3%.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Don't let them dictate what you're going to say and what you're not going to say. Speak out. Stand up. Don't participate in things that are, don't go to the movies that go all woke.
Yeah.
Don't subscribe to Disney, for example, that's gone all woke with their...
I got a video coming up with me and you for the new Indiana Jones that's coming out. Oh, that's another video. Stay tuned to that one, but go on, proceed.
When you go to the movie Buzz Lightyear and all of a sudden they're putting gay characters in there for no reason, no reason whatsoever.
None.
Or the race swapping in the movies just to be inclusive.
Oh, Little Mermaid. That's another video. That's a different video. Yeah. That's another video. Yeah, that's the next video.
got to, in order to get an Academy Award or an Oscar, you have to include a certain number of gay characters, a certain number of minorities, a certain number of this, and if you don't check all the boxes, you can't get awards anymore if you're a movie maker.
So screw the acting.
Yeah, screw the acting.
So me being Native American, German, and a little bit of Spaniard, I can just be in the movie and get an Oscar.
You could, especially if you come out as gay or something.
Oh, I don't know about that. My wife will probably, she'll be like, hey. See, my wife likes a manly man. That's all I'm gonna say.
My wife likes.
Yeah. My wife don't like that soft man stuff, man. She don't like those beta males. She loves the alphas. But
so I was.
Yeah. So what's what do you got, man?
Yeah, I've been reading a lot about the AI stuff, the generative AI stuff.
Yeah.
Man, that's fascinating.
Yes.
You can't even keep up. There's over 60 companies that are developing generative AI, and it's just every single day there's new groundbreaking news and
Always
the Chat GPT, the Firefly is my favorite.
Man, yeah, that was some good graphics you sent me in the email, man. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
To Millennial Mind made of brain. We'll show it on there.
Yeah. I'll throw it up on there. It's pretty cool, man. I thought that was crazy. I was like, whoa,
weird looking.
And what was really fascinating is it got like you just said, the sliminess of the brain. And then whenever I zoomed in on the picture, it was really detailed. It had the blue colors in the brain. It had the pinks, the darks. Like it had some like the red. Like, man, that was crazy.
They do it as a transparent background too, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So another one that I did my little niece is just nuts about tigers. And so I did one made of tiger fur for Celia. I'll try and remember to send it to you.
Oh, that's cool.
But,
like the name was made of tiger fur.
Tiger fur, yeah. And then I've got another friend that's really really into music and performing, and I did one made of saxophones, and that was really neat. So there's all kinds of stuff you can do on that. But the cool thing is this Adobe Firefly website is really a testing ground for stuff they want to incorporate into Photoshop and Illustrator and those, and they're starting to do that. And all of a sudden you can go into Photoshop and you can take a picture, and if it's not wide enough, you can expand it and it will automatically fill in the white areas.
I've seen that on my TikTok. That came across my TikTok. Some dude had Al Pacino and it was just like a little picture, and then he like widened it, and then the Photoshop just automatically made the background based upon that, and he put him in like a castle.
Yeah,
just kept widening and I was like, what the heck? And it was just this like face picture. It was like chest up of Al Pacino, and he made him into a castle. Like he was in a castle with a king with lions and all that. I was like, what in the world is going on?
See, I've been doing Photoshop and Illustrator for 35 years.
Yeah,
a long time. But
I'm 38.
We used to have 38.
I'm 38.
Oh, you're 38.
Yeah,
3 years.
Oh, 3.
But we used to joke around about Photoshop needing a make art button. Well, now it's got a make art.
Yeah.
It was a joke, and now it's a reality.
How long ago was that joke?
Oh, 20, 30 years ago even. I went to the Art Institute in Dallas. I started in 1989, 1990, somewhere like that. I graduated. Keep hitting the microphone. I graduated in 92. Basically, I taught myself in there because they were more about making money than giving you an education. But
at least there was some education back then.
Now they provided the software and everything.
Yeah.
So you had the opportunity.
But you didn't have the crap that I went through in college. They actually would teach you guys stuff rather than, learn this, learn that. Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of felt like I was on my own, but then I graduated tops in my class. I don't remember if I was valedictorian, salutatorian. I graduated with honors anyway. I don't keep track of that stuff. That wasn't important to me. I was going back to school.
Mm-hmm.
I studied architecture at A&M, and then I decided that I graduated in 84, and then I decided I wanted to go into computer animation, and that wasn't available in 84, but that was available in 90.
Okay.
Anyway, so this AI stuff is just groundbreaking and very cool. And it's new stuff all the time. They have a new little tool in Photoshop that is a sort of an erase and replace tool. It's really new. Yeah.
Oh,
it's not even in the beta.
Check that out.
It's in the regular version, not the beta version.
Not the beta. Okay.
Well, it's in the beta too, but it's where the eyedropper, not the eyedropper tool, the rubber stamp tool is.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got you.
It's a brand new tool right in where the
Right
rubber
under there.
stamp.
Ah.
Yeah. And it does the same thing as the generative fill tool, but you don't have to. You just use the stamp, go over it. But the generative fill, the cool thing is you can just select an area and it'll automatically fill it, or you can type in what you want. Say you want a castle, like you were saying. You just type in the word castle. You don't say create castle. You just type the word castle.
So you just type it in.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And it'll do it by text or just by selection.
See, I've been using a lot of the AI with a lot of my video production. So, I mean, you're great in Illustrator and Photoshop. Me, I'm not so good, but I'm really good in Premiere Pro and After Effects. So in Premiere Pro, they have like this new AI Autopod, and you can take a podcast like this and it splits it up, as long as you have, multiple cameras. That's the only downfall there is you have to have multiple cameras. You have to have multiple channels of mic, meaning like your mic has to be on 1-2 channel. My mic has to be, that one that you keep whacking. I don't know what it did to you. But
you have to edit out the film.
Yeah, little boom. But and then so this mic has to be like on a 2 channel, that mic on a 2 channel. But of course, both of these mics are on 1 channel on a 2 channel, but they're both stereo. So I can talk, it sounds like it's coming from left to right. You talk, it sounds like it's coming from left to right, and it splits it up automatically, and you got to adjust it. But now I've been about to use the Opus clip, and whenever they were first starting this AI, it was all you needed was just 2 separate videos. You could have one audio track and have 2 separate videos, and it would adjust it based upon the 2 separate videos. Well, 1 video, but 2 cameras, as far as like one looking this way, one looking this way. Well, now we could have a basic setup like this, 1 wide shot, and now the Opus clip can actually take based upon the voice, it matches the voice with the face, and it recognizes it. Then it'll recognize your voice, match your face. So every time you talk, it adjusts and it takes that clip out, puts it there, and then when I talk, it'll take it out and then put it there. I mean, it's fascinating.
Yeah,
very fascinating.
I'm about 6 months behind on Premiere because I lost a couple of my video clients, not because I did anything, but because one of them went homeless.
Oh, geez, so that's anyway, not good. Well,
I didn't break him.
Yeah. Are you sure?
He kind of was a victim of the COVID, all that stuff.
Oh man, but, that hit everybody really hard.
I mean, there's some really cool features even 6 months ago in Premiere that I put 2 clips in there and just hit the arrow key to switch between them.
And now they have these extensions and these AI extensions that they put into Premiere Pro that I use. I use Motion Bro. I use another extension called Mr. Horse. And now what took me, so I used to I showed you some of my work, like those transition videos that I used to do, right? Those TikTok transition videos. And I would always have to like keyframe one by one by one. I would have to keyframe at least 2 seconds to get that nice little swoosh, whatever, Dude, now you have these AI extensions. The transitions are all built there. You just grab it and you just slide it on in. And I'm like, bro, where was this like 2 years ago when I was getting that little 15-second video for a client, and it's taking me like 4 hours to do because you have to keyframe each little transition, and each transition is like every 3 seconds, and it's just crazy. But that one, another one I just downloaded is called Four Four. It's called like For Array or something like that. And now this one has LUTs, sounds, SFX. It has some transition overlays. It has
Scaling up.
yeah, text boxes, preset, all this stuff. So you can just click on the side of the extension, and it's like, oh man, I really like how this text pop. You don't even have to make a motion graphic anymore. Before you have to type the text, then you got to go into the motion graphics, make it this, do that, keyframe it. I go, no, just slide in.
Well, some of the other stuff that ties into that is some of the third-party software. Well, I guess they don't consider themselves third-party, but since we're Adobe people, they're third-party to us. But like Topaz Labs is putting out both photo and video expanders, whatever. So I can take a low-resolution, blurry photo and turn it into a really big, sharp photo. And I've done some incredible things that I would have thought was impossible before I used the software.
So it's just like upscaling to 4K.
It's upscaling and taking the blur out.
Yeah. So like the old photos, you could like scan and you can only get it like this much, but now you can take that and scale it up to 4K.
Do all kinds of fake stuff to try and get rid of some of the blur, and you could never get rid of all of it.
Right.
But what the software is basically doing is it's looking at the photo or it's looking at the video, and it's going out and examining thousands of other photos that are similar and rebuilding the entire photo or the entire video based on what it thinks it should look like by looking at those other photos and videos. So it's really
I'm
creating a new photo from it's not the same photo that you put in there, but it's really amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that one. There was
Well, did I send you? Oh, I sent you the trial version where you can download the trial version of the video blower.
Yeah, it only let me do a certain amount of minutes
Right.
for the video, but I actually don't even have a lot of the video that's old to upscale it. I tried to find some like old school music videos, so I downloaded one of the old Metallica videos. I think it was Fuel, and that's what I used to do the upscale. So when I put it side by side, the original video that was filmed in 480p, and of course, it was a ratio of the 4:9. Is it 4:9? Either way, it's a square, right? And then tried to upscale it to 16:9 at 1080p, and it took a long time because it has to render that what's not there, like you were just saying, right? It has to render that that extra resolution, or extra DP, the dots or whatever. It didn't look too bad. I was only able to get through about I think it gave me 45 seconds of the video before it was like, oh, your trial minutes have ended or whatever. Yeah. But and of course that was months ago. I'm pretty sure now they've worked it very well, and I bet it's a lot better now.
The problem that I hadn't tried it. I'm on the beta team now, but one problem I tried to feed my wedding video in because that's DVD quality rather than 4K, and the veil that my wife is wearing confused it, and so it kind of warped her face and made her look a little monstrous and weird. So
edit that out. No, just kidding.
But I was like, okay, I can't really use that. I was hoping to it's only been 21 years and I still haven't put together our wedding video, so that's
oh my God.
Only 21 years. I've got all the parts. I just haven't put it together, and now it's all low resolution.
Well, you got another 20, 21, 25.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
We're not even halfway there.
No. Another one that I know that we've been working on as far as AI to do a lot of stuff was Jasper.
Jasper is it's sort of it's like Chat GPT 3 or 4, wherever it's at now.
Yeah.
But it's more current with what it's pulling from.
Yeah. So the only thing that I can see that Jasper doesn't really do as well as what I have ChatGPT for is, of course, you don't have the plugins like ChatGPT now. I literally did my sister's entire resume to a job description. So the AI for ChatGPT with the plugins you can download, you can put your entire resume in there as a PDF. Then say, you know, hey, I want you to take this resume, read through it, make sure you understand these qualities, etc., etc. And it says, okay, then you can take that and say, now I want you to do this job and you know, apply it to, you know, this job description of keywords. And literally, I have the template in there and everything like that, but I built my sister's entire resume with ChatGPT just based upon the job description. So before, it was you had to do your resume and it was, here's my experience, but it was an experience in that job.
Right.
And see, a lot of people don't know this, and I hope they pay attention. Resumes on the internet like that look for specific keywords from your resume to get thrown in front of the recruiters. The recruiters don't just manually go out there and start picking out resumes. They have a software, and I know this because my wife's best friend, he's a recruiter. And he had told me this, that they pick up specific keywords on certain resumes, and the system pulls those resumes. And then he looks at it and he reads the resumes, and based upon what job description best, or what resume best fits that job description, and that's how they get hired. So when I did this for my sister, all the specific keywords that were in this job description, the AI took those keywords and put them in each one of her jobs.
Oh, nice.
Right? So it didn't have just one part of her job and make it all the keywords. It would grab like a keyword here, throw it in this description on this job of this year. Then it would grab this keyword and apply it to here, and then this keyword and apply it to there. And so she applied for it. Literally the next day they called her. The next day they called her. And of course they weren't offering her the money that she wanted. But the point is,
it got their attention.
And my mom and her were just completely stunned. Like, my mom, you know, she can build resumes. She did that for a living for a little while for a lot of people. And she said she has never had a resume built and come back like that with that job in a day. She said the fastest that she's ever seen it done by a human, you know, manually, is like 3 days. I mean, that's crazy.
I did a talk in Fort Worth a couple of months ago on both on Photoshop and Illustrator and also on AI, and they wanted a bio. It's like, I don't have a bio. I don't know how to put together a bio. And so I went on is it Jasper? I may have gone on ChatGPT. I may have gone on Jasper. I don't remember. Anyway, I put in a couple of key things, you know, 35 years of experience. I did the Bank of America logo. I did the Hilton logo. And I just put in a few key things that I thought were good for a bio. And I told it, write me a bio. It turned out looking like I was some sort of Superman or something. It was like, holy cow. I had to actually tone it down a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, because I was just like, yeah, I'm not that egocentric to say all these nice things about myself, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I think.
It did a good job.
Yeah.
Really good job.
It does amazing stuff. I mean, and a lot of people don't understand. They're like, oh, I can use ChatGPT. Well, they don't understand. You have to talk to it as if it's a little kid, and you have to prompt this little kid specifically, I need you to do this with this, and then this job description. Do you understand? Yes, I understand. Send me the link. Okay, so I did a for Steve, right? So I did an entire SEO website draft description of his competitors based upon his website. So I took his competitors' websites, got all the keywords out of there, and then compared it to what he had, and it gives you a percent of like how your website is based upon their website percent. And so I sent that to him, and I was like, look, man, you got to change this. You got to change this. You don't have any pictures of this. Your keywords are here. You know, they're ranking 85, 90% Google keywords, and here you are ranking at 15. And ChatGPT tells you, you know, what your ranking is as far as Google keywords. Like, oh, yeah, blah, 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 I'll read it. And, oh, yeah, you rank about 15% of the market in your area. 15%. You know, and he would ask me, you know, I don't know how we get, you know, calls through Google. We're not doing this. My website has been up here. I've had people work on it. Well, I could have the best person in the world build a website. But if they don't know how to manually work those keywords in or work whatever needs to be done, I mean, you're not going to rank at all. And then you get these sucker SEO companies, and I call them sucker companies because that's what they are.
Call me all the time.
All the time. Oh, we'll help you rank on Google. We'll do that. Oh, how much is it? Oh, only $200 a month. Now, take that pitch, and now you have 40 to 50 companies you pitch that to, and you grab 10 of them. Right there. All because they're going to do a day's worth of work for the entire week. Not even a day, I would say. I've done SEO for a website like that. I think it was like, I think I worked on it for 3 hours. Changed a couple of keywords, sent it, say, hey, I updated your website with these keywords. All right, see you next week. That's what you're paying for? 3 hours every Monday for a whole month. And that's when I tell my clients, I was like, you get what you pay for. And they bring this stuff up to me hence why I got out of marketing. And marketing and business, that's another video. But hence why I got out of it, because I got tired, so tired of explaining to a little bit of the older generation. That's why I wanted you to be on this podcast with me, because you understand how the social media data works and how it's applied. Take a construction guy with your knowledge of construction, your age, dude, it is pulling teeth with toothpicks.
Well, even getting paid what I'm worth, people don't understand, you know.
Right.
How can you charge that much an hour? Well, because I've been doing it for 35 years.
Because you pay for the experience, right? You pay for the experience and the knowledge. You're not paying for the hours. You're paying for the experience of the knowledge I put in years ago, you know. And
I got my wife to do the logo. Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah. That's the same thing with me. Like, they're like, oh yeah, my girlfriend or my wife set up the social media, set up our Facebook page, and like the first common thing I'd say is like, okay, whose Facebook page is it under? Well, I don't know. It's just made. I said, well, who owns it? So your Facebook account or their Facebook? I don't know. Well, how did you make? I mean, man, it's like, I'm just like, let's start from scratch. Because I don't know what you did. I don't know how you don't even have the same email. Yeah. You don't have this. And oh my God. And then like, well, why do you charge so much? You're paying for my knowledge that I've already went through to know these things.
You're paying time more on my knowledge.
Correct.
Than you will on your wife's knowledge or your cousin's knowledge.
Exactly.
You're going to make a lot more on what I do for you.
Yes. And
you'll
man,
pay more up front, but you'll make more money from it.
And man, I tell you, man, this pulling teeth with some of these business owners. And
you heard the story of the hotel in New York, and they had this big convention coming in, and the boiler in the basement went out. And so they looked all over the city, and nobody knew how to fix that boiler. It was too old. And they found one guy that knew how to fix it. And so they called
out of all of New York,
one guy that
Holy
fixes this
gosh.
boiler, right? And so he comes in and he looks around the boiler, he looks on this side, he kind of scratches his chin, and he reaches in his bag and he pulls out a ball-peen hammer and he goes clunk, and the thing started up. Okay, that'll be $5,000.
Hey, no way. No, nuh-uh.
That'll be $5,000, yeah. And they said, $5,000? All you did was hit it with a hammer. How come $5,000? He said, oh, hitting it with a hammer is only $5 worth of that. The rest is you paying me for knowing where to hit it with a hammer.
I've never heard that story.
Really?
That's real,
I don't know.
or is it a story?
It might just be a story, but I've heard it several times.
I'm gonna look that up, man. That I don't know about that. That doesn't seem.
It's a story that's
I'm
been
gonna
around.
look that
I didn't
up.
make
dude.
it up.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna look that up.
I don't know that it's a true story, but it's got a true meaning behind it.
But the meaning, meaning is good. I like that.
So we know where to hit with the ball peen hammer.
Yeah.
Doing what we do.
And that's why I changed from ball peen hammer to doing something else, man. Because I got tired of doing that. Like, it was a headache, man. Like owning a marketing business and, talking to the young business owners, like it was just as bad, almost as bad. Except for some of my roofing clients that I've had, they understand and they trust me and they, do this and I do all this stuff for them. And they're just like, do what you do and, keep it going. But man, I tell you what, like all the other ones is just, man, I'm gonna get frustrated just even thinking about it, man. I moved on. Now I'm doing film production, commercials, studios.
Get with you on trying to figure out how to build a website using AI because
durable.
My website, I've been sitting on this blank website for about 15 years. I've got an opening.
We got to fix that, man. We got to fix that.
There's no contact information. There's no gallery of things that I've done. There's nothing. There's not a description. It's just you go there and it's just a page. And that's, if I'm doing it for somebody else, I'm going to get it done a lot faster. But for, I'm not paying myself enough to do it.
Durable, that new web there, and then they made another one that I forgot what it's called, but I know Durable. That's what I'm gonna make the podcast website on. And you just type in the description on what it is, and then it just starts pinging stuff in, and you can change the pictures. You can put in video once there. Then it automatically says, "Hey, do you want to buy this domain?" And then it goes to GoDaddy or wherever the domain name is and say, hey, this person owns the domain at X amount of dollars, or it just says, hey, this domain name isn't taken, and just buy it right then and there. And then
I already got my domain.
Yeah. You got the domain.
Yeah.
But, I'm saying like for this.
Oh, yeah.
For this, yeah, I'm doing that. So
yeah, we're going to be doing a lot more of these.
Definitely. And I think that's probably about wrapping it up for this episode, man.
We put in an hour's worth of
some good stuff.
I'm hoping that everybody really likes what we were talking about.
Oh yeah. So
if you're not a politics person,
they ain't ready.
The Adobe stuff. If you're not in the Adobe stuff, we've got other AI stuff. It's just
whole bunch of stuff, man. It's like I said, it's not going to be about. It's not going to be just about politics, but we are going to get into the business part of it, the ethics part of it. Marketing, social media part of it.
And feel free, if there's something you want us to talk about, feel free to email us or let
us know in the comment section. Let us know in the comment section what you guys want to hear about, and we'll look it up and discuss anything that comes forward.
Yeah. So
awesome, man.
We don't go the Hogue Brothers route, or anything. We don't have our saying yet or anything.
Oh, the Hodge twins.
Hodge twins.
Oh man, I've been watching. Dude, I watched them when they were doing workout videos.
Oh yeah.
I think they had. I found them. When was that? Real quick, we'll leave off with this. I found them, man, like 2013 or 14. And I remember I was streaming on Twitch, and their YouTube came up when I was doing something, and it was these. And the reason why I found them was because they're former Marines, and so the algorithm kind of clicked with some of the stuff I was looking for back then with the VA stuff, and so they kind of came up on the YouTube. I was like, oh, cool, and I subscribed to them, and it was their workout YouTube channel, and I think they had like 5,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Man, now look at my brothers out there, man.
There's a lot of fun stuff out there, and we're planning on trying to give you a different flavor. So
for sure,
Timcast is great. The
Hodge twins.
Hodge twins are great.
They're great too.
But we're trying to do a little bit different flavor because why do the same thing as everybody else?
Yeah, and Timcast is actually really good, man. I do like his perspective on a lot of stuff. I disagree with him on some things. I do, But
And you guys are going to disagree with us on
oh
some
yeah,
stuff.
for sure. Yeah,
Feel
but
free, and you can blast us on it. And, oh, yeah, I can't believe you said that.
no, but I mean, he does make good points on most of his. Actually, about 90% of his videos, man, are actually really good. I watch some of his live streams as well if I'm not busy. But there's subjects that it just doesn't make sense sometimes, and I would love to talk with him about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's like a year younger than me. I think he'll be 37 this year, so he is another true millennial. And
Maybe they'll invite us on their show.
that'd be great, man. Yeah, I mean, I would love to talk to him. I mean, I'm pretty much like him too. Like, and most of us millennials are. We're not left. We're not right. Our parents are, the Republican conservatives. And then we had, in the school, the dumb, leftist liberals, and so we were just like, dude, leave us alone. Like, all of us were real center.
The left is actively pushing more and more people towards the right.
That's true. So I actually get
The more
along.
they go left, the more they push us right.
I actually get along with a lot of real liberals.
Mhm.
Right. I get along with them very well. It's the crazy lunatic liberals that
The
they're
socialists.
they're BS crazy, man. Some of this stuff.
Communists, let's change the universe by saying it's not what it is.
Yeah.
Let's say men can get pregnant even though they never have.
I don't know how that's gonna work out. But either way,
Right.
so guys, we're
Back to
cutting.
the point.
Yeah, back to the politics. But cutting this one, for the day. Ron, thank you for coming out, man. I greatly appreciate
It
it.
was a lot of fun. I enjoyed
Was-
chatting with you.
Yeah. Oh man, we're gonna have a lot of chats. This is just the beginning.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we still have tons of subjects to go through, tons of videos to go through. I know I'm gonna cover a lot of gaming news on solo videos. I'm a big gamer myself, but when you're here, we're definitely gonna talk, the business, the pop culture, politics.
If you want to talk Sudoku, I can talk that kind of game.
Oh yeah, hey, I played Sudoku for a little bit. I'm there with you, but either way. Thanks guys for watching, greatly appreciate it. If you want, subscribe for some more. Our Patreon is going to be down below. That is going to be completely separate videos. It's going to be raw, uncut footage. That's going to be our membership for now. Like and comment down in the section where you would like to, for us to discuss with you, and we'll catch you guys later.
Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Feel free, say anything.
Yeah, this is the Millennial Mind Podcast, episode 1. That's a wrap.